So, since Pokemon TCG Online is sunsetting in about a couple of days now, after the time of this recording, I decided, you know what? Why don't I record myself playing this game, and you guys actually get to see me play some Pokemon TCG for once, and as our last hurrah for Pokemon trading card game online, because, you know, you're not going to be able to, by the time these episodes are out, the game's probably already sunset by this point, so you're not going to be able to play it anymore, which is kind of sad. But I've got 5 episodes for you, each one focusing on a deck that I have. And this one is from my most recent video, God of War and Mimikyu unboxing. This is the God of War deck because I got a code card for that, so I figured, why not? I'll play it. Just this once. Now, as you can see here, I pick my Pokemon here, which is Clefairy, and then I set up my Hawlucha and Snubbull, I think. Now, this deck is all about healing. Whereas Clefable, that the Clefairy evolves into, that has an ability that allows you to heal, 30 damage, I think, each and every turn. And there's a lot of potions in here that allow you to heal up your Pokemon. Now, this is pretty important because the main point of the V deck, is to build a deck around the Pokemon V. And God of War V, its whole deal is that it does more damage when it's healed. I got my Gramble there. And the more you heal, not the more you heal it, but on return that you heal it, it does more damage. So this deck is filled with a lot of healing Pokemon for you to use. As you see, I got the Dreepy out, and I put it on the bench. And what do I do here? I think I attach it to this. I think I attach me either to Dreepy or, yeah, I attach it to Dreepy, so I can get off what I thought was going to be the first attack, but I forget I was going first. Now, the rules for the Pokemon TCG is that a lot of card games have this, the first player penalty. And the first player penalty for the Pokemon TCG is that you can't play any supporter cards, and you cannot use any attack on your first turn, which can be frustrating, especially when you just got everything ready to go. But if you just need to set up straight away, then it isn't really that bad. Right there, I build my Snubbull into Gramble and attach the Psychic Energy to it. Which, can I just say, I'm still annoyed that, fairy types are still categorized as Psychic now. I don't know why we got rid of them and why we didn't bring them back. I know, it just feels wrong to me. I get it why Psychic is the substitute for Fairy, because magic is just science. Because magic is just science and physics that we have yet to explain, all that crap. So, but I still just want to know, why don't they have the Fairy type in here? They should. But anyway. Right there, I attacked the... I can't tell what it is now. Shit. Well, this is one of the best matchups I could have asked for. Psychic against Fighting type. Probably the best deck I could ask for, because a lot of Psychic types resist Fighting types. Even the ones that are Fairy, so... And here I heal up my Dreepy. I can't remember what its name is now. Mudstale, I think. Maybe. But anyway, switch into Gramble here so I can use a more powerful psychic attack, Lockjaw, which also does damage to me because he's got Rocky Helmet on, and Rocky Helmet pretty much means that I take damage every time I attack his Pokemon. Now he's got his full attack here, and Lockjaw's secondary effect allows it to lock the Pokemon in the active spot, so they can't get away. And now I am able to use like Gramble's strongest attack, which does 120, I think it is 130. I was 10 off, but yeah, which means now I can just blast away at all of his Pokemon. Here's the thing with the Pokemon V battle decks. They're like really basic decks. Like, don't go into any of these videos expecting like extreme competitive play. I am, I guess you could say, a novice at the Pokemon TCG. I haven't been playing for that long. I only recently got into the Pokemon TCG because of the pandemic. Locked in the house. There was only so much YouTube I could watch before I got bored of it, so I reckoned, hey, the Pokemon TCG. It popped into my head one day. I'm like, oh, I haven't really gotten into that. I've gone into all the other facets of the franchise, like the manga, the anime, the games, obviously. So I thought, hey, why not try and get into the one part of this franchise that I love that I never really got into? So I just started looking up things about the Pokemon TCG, like how to play, how decks are constructed, how the artwork is absolutely gorgeous on some of these. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed into that. Now, as you saw there, I knocked out all my opponent's Pokemon and won the game. There are 3 win conditions in the Pokemon TCG. First is knockout. If you knock out all of your opponent's Pokemon, you win, which is what I did. Then there is prize cards, which you probably see this in a little bit. Yeah, you'll see this in a little bit, but after you've drawn your hand, after you've set up, you then draw 6 more cards and then put them to the side, which these become your prize cards, which are pretty much point tallies, I guess. Where if you knock out a Pokemon, you get a prize card, and if you take all of your prize cards, you win. That's the other win condition. And the last one is deck out, which is if you run out of cards to play in your deck. Which almost happens to me quite a bit with the decks I make. Because the decks that I make are a lot of draw engines. Well, not really draw engines, but a lot of cards that allow you to draw more cards. So I have more options open to me. And yeah. Now what you see right here is a mulligan. I have a mulligan, which basically means that I have no Pokemon to place on the mat. So, and when that happens, I have to shuffle the hand back into my deck and then draw a new hand and hope that has a basic Pokemon I can play. And the penalty for that is that my opponent gets to draw an extra card. Because of that. So, yeah. My opponent gets to draw an extra card because you are kind of wasting their time because you didn't draw a basic. So, anyway. This Dragapult is really damn good. Its ability can be really annoying at the right time. That happened to me as well. Now, I don't know what happened here, if she needed to go somewhere, she disconnected, or she realized I wasn't a competitive player. But yeah, she just kind of left or forfeited the match, which gives me an automatic victory, which means I just got 100 free coins, as you saw right there. And I can climb up this chart tower thing. I'm not sure, but whenever you win games on Pokemon TCG Online, you fill up those arrow things and you get a reward for it. Like the first game I got 25 coins, and if I win this next game, which I do because I think it was another disconnect, I get another batch of coins. Then you get a chest, and then you get more coins, then a pack, I think. And I can't see, but the recording, the voice modular thing is in the way, so I can't see properly. Anyway, again, this person also yields, so I'm not sure if it was some shoddy connection or if she needed some place to go, or if it was something on my end, or she realized that I wasn't a competitive player, because I know a lot of people will do it. They will just drop games at opponents just because you're not a competitive player. I don't think there's a ranking system for Pokemon TCG Online. I think it's random what people you get, which can be good, can be bad. You could wound up facing a competitive player, which I think I did in this video. I'm not sure. I can't seem to remember. I remember that the second one, I definitely did encounter a competitive player, but I'm not sure about this one. And yes, you can end up finding competitive players, or you could end up just finding some noob like me to battle, which I think can be frustrating for some people who want a serious competitive match. And this is only in standard. There are two formats in Pokemon TCG. There's standard, which is what I'm playing now, which is everything that is tournament legal, basically, from the newest sets. And then there's expanded, which is everything from black and white all the way up to now. So, yes, that means you can make a deck full of completely different cards from completely different eras and sets, which is what a lot of people do. Here we got this Honchkrow V, which I didn't get a chance to read that shit. Anyway, I sent out my Halucha here so he will be able to do like immediate damage. And yeah, this is when they yielded, because I'm not sure, maybe they wanted someone more competitive instead of me. But yeah, free 10 coins. Free 10 coins, why not? And more Thunder Energy, I think it's called, Lightning Drive? I'm not sure what it's actually called, but yeah, I get up another tier and boom, free 50 coins. Next win, I would get a chest, which will give me something random, which it could be coins, could be a single card. I think it can even be packs. So yeah, and at the end of the versus reward, you get a sought after card. Like at the end of this, I would get a Darkrai V, which I actually did get, although I got it off screen, because I've wrapped up the last episode on that, so maybe I should have recorded it, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, yeah, this is the episode with a competitive player. Yeah, it's this guy. That looks like Snoop Dogg in cosplay. Yeah, this guy clearly was a competitive player. He had this uber strong lightning deck. Although I didn't see any Raikou V. No, I think I did. I I'm recording this underneath my bed. This is hot. I am getting sweaty. And of course, the blanket hangs on my head. This is what I have to do to get good audio quality. And of course, I sent out Dreepy because he's got an opening attack that can do 20 damage for only 1 energy. That's pretty good in the early game. And yeah, see, you can see by that one hand, he was absolutely a competitive player. But fuck, that Serena card. But he also mulliganed twice. So I'm not sure how much of a competitive player this guy was. But yeah, and of course he starts off with a Pikachu V, which I think I have that. Yeah, I have that Pikachu V. Well, I have an alternate art of that. I got the V tin, which was the first Pokemon TCG product I ever bought. Was an EV V tin, a Pikachu V tin, and an Eternatus V tin. Anyway, I use Evolution Incense here, which allows me to grab a Pokemon that one of my Pokemon evolves from, and I got what's it called now? I forget the middle evolution of this line. Fuck. Not Draclock. I forget what it's called, but another penalty is that you can't evolve Pokemon on the same turn you set them out. Like, since it was the same turn I set out that Dreepy, I couldn't evolve him at all until the next turn, so... Which isn't that bad. Now, here he comes with Bone Reap, and he's got that full art Barry. You know, I just want to appreciate, like, the artwork of these cards. They're absolutely amazing. Like, the artwork in, like, the TCG from, like, Sun and Moon onwards is stellar. Absolutely stellar. Especially the full arts for, like, the trainer cards and the Pokemon cards themselves just look so effing good. Anyway, now I evolved my Dreepy into, I cannot read it, Draclock. There we go, Draclock. Or no, it was Draclock. Yeah, I evolved it into Draclock. And I use Summon ability, which allows me to get another Dreepy out of the deck into the bench. And now I can evolve that Draclock into a Dragapult. I don't think I get the chance to evolve this one because I think it gets knocked out by this Pikachu, but yeah. Because Dragapult's ability is that if a Pokemon tries to attack it, you can flip a coin, and if it gets heads, then the attack does nothing. And that can be pretty annoying, especially if you manage to get heads consistently. It can almost shut down your opponent's entire game. Yeah, there we go, I get Thunder Shock right there. And I take 200 damage. Which, again, is kind of a problem because the power creep for, like, chase cards is astronomical. I mean, my god. Chase cards are, like... I know chase cards are supposed to be stronger than most Pokemon. I mean, that's how they sell the packs, but some of these have, like, gotten out of control to the point where other chase cards from older sets are completely outclassed by these ones. Power creep is something I can discuss later. But right now I'm using Trainer Dan, which allows me to draw 2 cards, and if I beat my opponent in a game of rock, paper, scissors, I can draw 4 more cards, essentially, 2 more cards, essentially giving you 4 cards. Which is pretty good because one thing in the Pokemon TCG is important is that you always want to keep drawing cards so you can get what you need as fast as possible. Like, that's what the Lugia deck was built around, because it was built around drawing all the necessary cards you needed. Like, drawing, like, Lugia V, and then drawing Lugia V-Star, so you can draw Archeops, so Archeops can draw the Aurora Energy and Double Turbo. And then you got generic cards that allow you to draw for any basic Pokemon. And then you use other special cards to attach more than one energy per turn to pretty much wreck shit up. So, yeah, that's another rule of the Pokemon TCG. All those attacks require energy to use, and the thing is, you can only attach one energy per turn, which can be really slow, unless you have other trainer cards or Pokemon that allow you to attach more energy per turn. Like a lot of competitive decks use. And now this guy is showing off his full art. God, what's it called now? I'm forgetting the names. It's not Mariposa Re-Evolution. I forget what it's called, but it's a really good card in the competitive scene right now because it allows you to draw lightning energy from your deck, basically. So you don't have to always rely on the luck of a draw. You can just search your deck for the lightning energy you need. And now I've finally gotten Gardevoir V onto the field, which I don't think I'd be able to use. I don't think I'll use her, unfortunately. But I think she gets KO'd way too quickly. And I don't have enough energy to attach onto it, but... Oh, man. And I do a really stupid mistake and try to use a Stadium card, and I ended up discarding a Hop, which was at the top of the deck, so... I don't know why I did that, I'm a fucking idiot, but... But right, on the topic of Stadium cards, the Stadium cards are pretty much like, for comparison, it is like a field spell from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where both players end up playing to the rules of a card, even if it's set by one person. That's what Stadium cards are. Stadium cards are always constant, though. The only way to get rid of a Stadium card is if you have a Pokemon that can do so, or you set your own Stadium card, which none of my decks have, so I'm often at the mercy of whatever Stadium my opponent plays. Anyway, I get Thunder Shocked there, and I lose my Gramble. And what do I do here? I put Drop Lock in, so I could try and use its ability, which fails spectacularly. Anyway, I use Hop, draw 3 more cards, and I evolve Clefairy into Clefable. And then I get a Hawlucha on the deck, which I was not expecting Hawlucha, of all Pokemons, to be in a healing fairy psychic deck at all. Anyway, now my opponent, I think he keeps, he just goes straight for the, no, he doesn't go straight for the attack. I did record these games over a day apart, so it was like 5 days I have to like think back to try and remember what happened here. Oh well, but anyway, yeah, he gets a Flaffy! That's what it's called, Flaffy! He gets another Flaffy that has an ability that can draw electric energy from the deck, which is really important because in the competitive scene right now, there's the Miraidon EX deck, which is kind of the competitive deck right now. And there we go, I blocked the attack with my ability. But yeah, electric types are absolutely in right now with the release of Scarlet and Violet because it's got Miraidon EX, which has the ability to draw a, what was it? It was draw a basic electric type Pokemon onto your bench, I think. Yeah, I do use God of War in this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I did use its ability. Right. I did use this like second. No, I didn't use a secondary ability. No, that's 120 by default. Never mind. Yeah, I did use. Yeah. Oh yeah, back to right on deck. You can just essentially just keep on drawing all the Pokemon you need with tandem units, and then you can attach, and then you can use like Flaffy to draw all the electric energy, and then attach it to Miraidon, so you can just blast away. There's also a new item card that also allows you to draw electric energy and attach it to a card. Yeah, and here comes Choice Belt. And I lose my Gardevoir V. Now, Choice Belt, you see this a lot in competitive decks, but Choice Belt does, I believe, an extra 20 damage to a Pokemon V, which is why my Gardevoir V went down so easily. And yeah, I tried to get this Dracopult ready to attack, and tried to use his ability to stop the Raikou, which fails spectacularly. I think this is where it's really like a luck of a draw. Which is really frustrating, but it can also be really hilarious when it happens. God. And yeah, now, Pokemon Vs are... Now, if you saw there, after this guy knocked out my Gardevoir V, he drew 2 cards, and that's because Pokemon V are a Roblox Pokemon, and Roblox Pokemon typically say that when this card is KO'd, your opponent gets to draw 2 more prize cards, which is to theoretically keep the game balanced, even if it doesn't really work that well. The point being is that the disadvantage of playing a Pokemon V is that if it gets KO'd, your opponent gets to take an extra prize card, and if your opponent just KOs 3 of your Pokemon V, they just won the game like that, compared to normal Pokemon where they need to knock out 6. And then we got this Dynamotor ability again. You can see why this is strong. And he's powering up his Pikachu V now, and I lose spectacularly. I don't think I would have been able to KO this Raikou even if I did got that Dracloak V fully upgraded. I just throw in a Hawlucha here just so we can do ready damage right then and there. I use Professor Juniper's research, which I wasn't expecting to get in this deck. Basically, Professor's research is a card that they've been using pretty much since Black and White. They just change up the professors every generation, but you basically just shuffle your deck into your hand and then you draw 7 cards. Jesus. Excuse me. I just ate not long ago before recording this. Yeah. I am running out of things to say here. Here comes with Serena, which I still can't believe they referenced like the anime in the TCG. That rarely happens in they rarely reference the Pokemon anime in any Pokemon media. Which is why Ash being in Pokemon Masters was absolutely bonkers at the time, because that was the first time not the first time that the games acknowledged the anime. The games have sort of acknowledged the anime, but not really. But yeah, that was the first time that someone exclusive to the anime actually showed up, unless you count Jesse and James from Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, this was the first time Ash was in an actual game. Oh god, 400 damage. Yeah, and I lose right here, but hey, what you gonna do? So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time for the next episode.